We welcome you back to CBS Mornings. We're continuing our coverage marking the 60 years since the assassination of civil rights leader Medgar Evers. On this date, June 12, 1963, he was murdered by a white supremacist outside of his home, just a few feet away from his wife and his 3 young children. His daughter, Reena Evers, was just 8 years old. She lost her dad that day, while the world mourned the loss of a father of the movement. In the years that followed, she watched her mom, Myrlie Evers, become a civil rights figure in her own right. In a special edition of our series, Note to Self, Reena writes a very personal letter to her mother from her childhood home in Jackson, Mississippi.
Mama, on a Wednesday when the birds were singing their morning song and Granny and Auntie's garden was in full bloom, Daddy was ripped away from us.
Medgar Evers had dedicated 9 years of his life to the war against racism. Now he is dead in battle.
We shall overcome someday.
Evers leaves a wife and 3 small children. They saw him stagger up to their home early today and collapse from his mortal wound in the back.
The tragic end to Daddy's life changed the trajectory of our lives into a new, unknown chapter. That day, I learned how to embrace the memories of our lives together and fuse them in my heart. After Daddy was taken from us, you embodied the best of him, keeping his mission and legacy alive while never giving into fear or hatred.
I ask you tonight, have you done all that you could to help in this struggle? Does your conscience bother you? Are you doing enough to help end this peculiar system of half free and half slave?
You carried the weight of history on your shoulders, and there have been many times when I wondered how you did not bow or break. You passed that strength on to me, a young sapling just learning to stand tall, and I carry it proudly. You instructed me with patience and love, the lesson that faith makes things possible, not easy.
My Lord, what a morning.
They marched on Washington today.
Our fathers, husbands, and sons all fought bravely, waging war against injustice. But I watched you and other women in the movement write a story they did not want to tell. Daddy Medgar, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and other husbands, fathers, and sons are enshrined in history. But it is the mothers who carried on. You, Mama, Aunt Coretta, Mama Betty, and other wives, mothers, and daughters were there, giving us strength and teaching the next generation to hold memory in our hearts. Activist, educator, global leader, writer, and a loving mother. A trailblazer. You walked into rooms that so many women and women of color never entered before. You broke glass ceilings, Mama.
Myrlie Evers Williams was installed tonight as head of the NAACP.
You've always said, watch me fly, but you make possible for all of us to spread our wings and soar. You navigated your life, always inspiring me to lead with love. It was you who taught me to never accept the word can't, but to always leave the door open to the possibility of what if. Remember, Mama, you always said, get out of my way, I'm coming through.
Mrs. Evers will lead us in the invocation.
Then there were times You've shared your words of wisdom to help me understand what we cannot explain. There were days you brought me comfort through our prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. You stood by my side, reminding me that love is what wins in the end, when my own burdens became too much to bear. Because of you, I know love never fades. It is the enduring truth that will keep your legacy alive for generations. You are more than a widow. So much more. You possess great strength and independence. Being a wife, mother, and legacy keeper all at once. That's no small feat. But you did it all with grace and excellence. I'm so proud to be your daughter. You are my ultimate sunshine. And I love you dearly, my mama.
My precious daughter, Reena, I recall when your father was killed, you came to me and put your arms around me to console me. And you said to me, and I quote, "Mama, don't cry. I am here with you. I will take care of you. You're my lifesaver. You're my precious daughter. I love you so much."
I love you too. I love you too. Thank you.
Go get him, honey. We make a good pair, don't we?
We do.
Mm-hmm.
They do make such a good pair. You know, when Mrs. Evers sat down, she had no idea what her daughter was doing, so she was hearing that for the very first time. That's her only daughter. You can see they're clearly still extremely close.
Yes.
And they have such a good sense of humor. They can tease each other, laugh with each other. It was a very, very, very special bond between the two of them.
It was beautiful to see that connection.
I think so, too. What a thing to hear daughter to mother and then mother to daughter about what you mean to each other with all that they've been through. Can you imagine at 8 years old saying, "Don't cry, I'm going to take care of you"? I said, "Where did that come from?" And she said, "It's just something that I knew inside me." And Myrlie Evers said that her daughter did help her get through, and she has done that and still continues to do that.
Or you could say she inherited that spirit from her father.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. A special thanks, by the way, to the Smith-Robertson Museum and the National Park Service, which oversees the Evers home. It's a national monument for opening the doors to us. It's now a museum where there's a bathroom there, but you cannot use that. I almost learned that the hard way. So, I mean, it really is, you can just go and see how they lived and how their lives unfolded that day.
Well done.
Amazing.
Beautiful. All the way around.
Yeah. Special thanks to the crew.
That's right.
Special thanks to